more details, more baby steps, more fine print to elaborate and go deeper into more detailed instructions on how to not let things bother you when it is a verbal situation. I'm talking about verbal situations, not physical situations. Physical violence should bother you, and something needs to change. In a verbal situation, how do you not let something bother you? You have to believe in the core of your mind that whatever criticism you are absorbing is not true. Someone calls you a dummy. Back to the dummy word, the general dummy word. Someone calls me a dummy. I have to believe in my heart. In order to not let that bother me and just disassociate, I have to believe in my heart that I'm not a dummy. Okay? I know I can be a dummy. I can act like a dummy. I can do dummy-ish things, but I am not a dummy. I can be a dummy. It's a big difference. I am not a dummy. If you believe in your heart that you're not really a dummy, someone calls me a dummy. I know you're just mad. I know you're just mad, and I know I'm not a dummy. So I can take that, I can look at it. Am I acting dummy-ish right now? If I am, okay. Thank you for checking me. Making me work on myself. Sometimes it's just about their denial. If you speak the truth and they don't want to believe it, they call you a dummy. That's more them. Right? It's not so much me doing something stupid. Maybe I could have presented the truth in a more gentle way. But if they just flat out don't want to believe the truth, and they're trying to discredit me, and they call me a dummy. You're a dummy. You don't know what you're talking about. I actually do. It's actually a fact. You just don't want to accept it. Amigo. So, yeah. Essentially, to not let things bother you, you have to believe the opposite is true. So how do we do that? How do we believe the opposite is true? You have to build self-confidence. A lot of us hate ourselves. We're raised to hate ourselves. We're raised from childhood to hate ourselves. It's not really our fault that we hate ourselves, because that's what we were taught. You need to hate yourself because you're worthless, stupid. Right? Some of us are raised to hate ourselves, so we gotta untrain. How do I believe that I'm not a dummy in my heart? You have to build self-confidence. How do we build self-confidence? Do things that make you proud of yourself. Do things that make you proud of yourself. Make a list. How do I make myself proud of myself? What brings you shame? What are you doing in your life that brings you shame? Do the opposite of that. Make a feel-good list and a feel-bad list. What makes me feel bad and ashamed of myself? Write it down. I've sort of been doing this. I've been writing down my emotions, but I still have yet to make a list. Why don't I do that right now? Let's do it together. Here's my pen. I journal and I write down, okay, I'm feeling this and I'm feeling this. What were we doing? Making a list. Making a shame list. What am I doing that brings shame onto myself? You have to read it out loud. Okay. So, write down at least one thing. What am I doing in my life that brings me great shame onto myself? I need to be doing the opposite of that. So I don't feel shame. I feel self-love, not self-hate. Negative thinking. Well, it's kind of ambiguous. Negative thinking. I don't think negatively. Okay. Go a little deeper. What makes me feel bad about myself? What makes me feel bad about myself? What makes me feel like I'm truly an idiot? Or a dummy? What makes me feel like, what am I doing in my life that makes me feel like I'm a dummy? So if someone calls me a dummy, I'm going to get scared, because you might be right. Right? That's how it works. Just think of something, write it down. Think of your main thing. What brings to me the most shame that I do? It's hard. It's hard, right? I don't know. Because you have to be specific. Because you have to nail it to really target it and change it. You have to know exactly what it is. You have to find you have to take out the chain of spaghetti chain, and find exactly where the knot is. So you're gonna do knot. Not just find the knot, but how the knot is tied together, right? How is this knot tied together? You know, just find the knot. Okay, here's the knot. You gotta dig deeper into the knot. I get it. What needs to be pulled out from above and below? So what am I doing to myself? It's bringing shame onto myself. It's really hard, right? What could I change to make me proud of myself so the word dummy doesn't bother me? First of all, the word dummy is probably always going to bother you because you've already been trained. You've already been trained to associate the word dummy with pain and feeling stupid. Right? The trick is to not scatter like glitter every time you're called a dummy. And start behaving in a crazy manner because someone called you a dummy. The goal is to stay collected when someone calls you a dummy, because you know in your heart you're not really a dummy. I think this is going to take a long time, this list thing, so it's going to take some time. I don't want to leave you hanging on the camera. Is she ever going to think of anything? So, start with journaling, then if you really want to nail it, make a list. Okay, just if you can't think of anything, just decide something and you can tweak it later. You can always tweak it later. Just get it going. I don't like the way I tend to think negatively sometimes. Negative thinking. Okay, you can start with a broad headline. Negative thinking. Which leads to being critical of people, right? And myself. Negative thinking is being critical. And then you just write it down. And then you go back to it and say, okay. And you look deeper into it. What situations am I more negative? And just pinpoint more and more. Like zooming in. Zooming in. Am I more negative in certain situations? And then what makes me the most negative? Because when you're negative, you feel guilt. And then you feel self-hate. Okay. So put yourself under a microscope. Write it down if you have to. Because you forget things. It's a lot to absorb. It's a lot to remember. And you forget. You have to write it down. And train yourself to believe in your heart that you are not a dummy. What are my good qualities? What do people tell me that I'm good at? Gratitude for yourself. Gratitude for your own skills and your own self-worth. And more positive thinking about yourself. That is how you train yourself to believe in your heart that you are not a dummy. Someone calls you a dummy. That's okay. I know you're angry about something. Maybe something I did. What did I do? And everything's cool. Everything's calm. You just look at it, open the mail and look at it. It's okay because I know in my heart I'm not a dummy. Am I acting like a dummy right now? If I am, I can change it and everything's fine. And it is not Armageddon. Okay. I know there are lighter arguments and other arguments are serious arguments, right? I know it's not always easy to say, brush it off. when people are really gnawing at each other, right? I know. What are your choices? Fall apart, have someone call the police on you because you fell apart and went berserk, or do you stay calm? What are your choices? Really, what are your choices? Stop, come out of La La Land. What are your choices? Flip out, get the police called on you, or stay calm. And no police reports. What are your options? Come back down to reality. What are my options here? What is the negative option? What is the positive option? What option will have a positive outcome? Will me flipping out because they called me a dummy result in a positive? No. Again, how do we build our self-love? So we know in our hearts we're not a dummy. You have to practice doing things that make you proud of yourself, so you love yourself. Stop doing things that make you ashamed of yourself. Start doing things that make you love yourself. What do I do that makes me love myself? I exercise, eat healthy. Nothing is perfect. I still have cravings. I still mess up. We're always going to mess up. You start recognizing things that you are doing that are harming yourself and causing self-hate. Here's a good example. I finally realized when I sleep in, I don't feel good about myself. So I make an effort to wake up early, so I feel good. There's one example. If sleeping in and not waking up until later, when the sun's already bright and you miss the sunrise and everything, it just makes me feel like I've already failed for the day. And I realize I need to stop doing this because it's bringing me negative thoughts upon myself. And I feel better when I wake up early. If you feel better and more proud of yourself when you wake up early, wake up early. That doesn't mean you're going to be perfect and start waking up early every day for the rest of your life. No, there are going to be days when you still mess up and you don't wake up early and you sleep in a little bit. But you're really, okay. You don't go back to just sleeping in all the time. You pick back up. Okay, well tomorrow I'm definitely going to wake up early. Because I can feel this more and more, that it's not good for me when I sleep in. And I don't want to feel this way. I want this shame to stop, so I'm going to start waking up early. So you just do it more and more. You don't set an expectation to be perfect, because you're going to disappoint yourself. You realize, okay, I messed up today. Not even that I messed up, I slept in late today. I slept in late today, and it made me realize even more how badly I feel when I sleep in late. So I need to definitely wake up early tomorrow so you get more motivation. You should be getting more motivation every time you stumble off the path a little bit. You get back on and you start running faster, right? And that's how we build our self-worth to not fall apart when someone calls us a dummy. It's all about training your core, training the core of your mind, the core of your heart, to believe in your heart and mind that you are not a dummy, so you don't fall apart. And we do that by practicing things that make us proud of ourselves, not ashamed of ourselves. Hopefully that makes